Good morning. I figured I'd give you guys some of the black spot treatment today. Unfortunately, or fortunately, I guess fortunately, because I like to work, I am still considered essential. Um, I've been told that I'm wrong and that I'm misreading the statute or the order, but oddly enough, judges in Sacramento County and in Placer County have read the same order, and they both decided to continue hearings on domestic violence restraining orders, civil harassment restraining orders, uh, just generally emergency protective orders of all kinds. And at least in Placer, they're still doing ex parte hearings for family law, emergency hearings for family law. And there's one of those coming up here in a few minutes for me. Anyway, I watched a shit show. It was just an absolute shit show between Mouse and Stunt Dummy. Stunt Dummy put it up. I don't know exactly why he's bragging about it. I didn't understand too much of what was going on, but I figured I'd try to clear up some misconceptions about the law and the way it works. Um, Conspiracy and being complicit aren't in and of themselves crimes. If you're complicit, that means you're guilty of a crime, or that you've committed a crime. He's complicit in this crime. Oh. Conspiracy, if you've conspired to commit a crime, that is in and of itself a crime. So it's a crime to conspire to commit a crime, and it's also a crime to commit the actual crime. But if you're conspiring about something that isn't a crime, like if you're conspiring with your brother to throw your mom a birthday party, a surprise party, that's not a crime. You're conspiring to throw a birthday party. That's not a crime. So just saying that someone is conspiring or complicit it's meaningless. You're just throwing words out. It's kind of like what they were doing at the impeachment. Oh, you're conspiring. Oh, to do what? I mean, what? And the other thing is Sundom, who's making a big deal about Canada not having a First Amendment. The issue is that in order to extradite to Canada, the crime has to be a crime both in the U.S. and in Canada. So in order for the U.S. to extradite someone to Canada, Canada has to think it's a crime and the U.S. has to think it's a crime. And if whatever action that Mouse did is protected by the First Amendment, then it would just by default not be a crime in the U.S. and therefore not be something that he could be extradited to Canada over. So that is a huge issue. And then I'm not entirely sure that Canada recognizes crimes that are committed outside of its borders. I know the U.S. there's every state has definitions of where their jurisdiction kind of ends. At best, states can be like, well, it either has to affect someone in our state or it has to be committed in our state. And the affect someone in our state is a questionable thing. You see a lot of case law on that where states overstep their bounds and they're trying to get people that aren't actually committing crimes in their jurisdiction because it's not directly related enough to like the state of California for California to be involved in. So whether or not Canada could even recognize what Mouse did as a crime within their jurisdiction would be something that you'd have to ask a Canadian attorney. I don't know if they call them barristers, solicitors, or attorneys up there, but whatever it is, they would be better qualified to answer that than I would. But I do know that we're not going to extradite Mouse over. And I seriously doubt that any sheriff in Colorado is going to give enough of a shit about some Canadian arrest warrant to go and arrest Mouse over it. I don't even know if they could do that, to be quite honest with you, because you have to get an arrest warrant based on probable cause that a crime was committed in the state. It's probable cause that a felony was committed. They don't have jurisdiction over Canadian felony, so I don't even know how, or a misdemeanor, I guess, but I don't even know how they would arrest Mouse. The best case scenario for Stunt Dummy's theoretical position would be if Mouse was already arrested for some other crime, and then Canada expressed their interest in him, and then maybe things could happen. But again, it'd have to be a crime in the U.S. and a crime in Canada for that extradition to take place. So I don't particularly think Mouse is in too much danger as far as Stunt Dummy's position is concerned. I mean, Mouse is in a lot of danger as to other things, like malnutrition or just getting sick from living in squalid conditions, but not so much from Stunt Dummy. Thanks for watching. Have a great morning.